Hello, and welcome to this SHEPPweb tutorial where we'll show you how to use our prior service purchase calculator so that you can estimate how much it'll cost to purchase your eligible prior service. Now, before we start off, it'll be handy for you to understand a little bit about what prior service means and why you may want to purchase it. So, what makes prior service so important? Well, credited service is one of the most important factors in calculating not just how much you'll receive when you retire, but how soon you can retire as well. Here's what I mean. If you're looking to retire early with an unreduced pension, you'll need to meet the rule of 80, which means that your years of credited service and your age add up to 80 or more. And purchasing prior service can help you meet that requirement sooner. Also keep in mind, the formula SHEPP uses to calculate your pension benefit relies on two variables, your contributory earnings and your years of credited service. With all else being equal, the more credited service you have, the higher your pension will be when you retire. And purchasing eligible prior service increases that amount. So now we know why we might want to purchase prior service, but we still need to know what it is. Prior service that is eligible for purchase is any period of employment with a current SHEPP employer or its predecessor that hasn't been credited because you were not contributing to the plan. This can happen for a number of different reasons. If you have any non-pension plan service with a SHEPP employer, including service with your employer before they joined SHEPP, service during which you weren't eligible to join SHEPP, or in which you chose not to join SHEPP even though you were eligible, all of that service would be eligible for purchase. For example, if you're a casual or temporary employee, the qualifying period before you became eligible to join the plan would be available for purchase. If you went on an approved unpaid leave of absence, that service would be eligible for purchase. And finally, if you received a termination benefit from SHEPP upon leaving a SHEPP employer, and then began building another pension with a SHEPP employer later on, the original service would be eligible for purchase as well. So now that we know what prior service is, and we have an understanding of why we might want to purchase it, let's sign into SHEPPweb and see how much it might cost. We're starting at the shepp.ca homepage, but you can find the SHEPPweb sign-in button in the top right corner of any page on the site. We'll click the button to get to the sign-in page. Now we're asked for our username and password. If you're having trouble signing in, please check out our Signing In to SHEPPweb tutorial on the Video Tutorials page. Now that we've signed into SHEPPweb, we can find the Service Purchase Calculator under the Tools menu, or head over to the sidebar and select Pension Calculators. Here we see a list of SHEPP's calculators, including a pension projection calculator and the prior and current service purchase calculators. But today, we're interested specifically in estimating the cost to purchase prior service, so we'll select that link. Before we enter the calculator, it's important to carefully read the terms and conditions. Remember, calculators are planning tools only. If you're considering proceeding with a service purchase, contact SHEPP for an official quote. With that in mind, we'll select I accept to enter the calculator page. We're first asked to enter our annual full-time earnings. Remember, SHEPP calculates the cost of purchasing prior service using your full-time annualized salary. So we'll need to enter our current salary based on full-time employment, even if we work part-time or casual. As a side note, if your current annualized salary is significantly lower than it was previously in your career, this amount may be adjusted in the official cost quote SHEPP prepares to more accurately reflect the cost to fund the service purchase. When choosing the period of service you want to purchase, keep in mind that service is credited on a monthly basis. So if you were on an approved leave of absence for 6 weeks, say from June 15th to July 31st, you'd still receive credited service for June, but no credited service for July. With that in mind, we can select our dates. As an example, I'll say I went on a year leave of absence from May 1st, 2022 to April 30th, 2023. If you like, you can add additional periods of eligible prior service as well. Now that we have both fields filled in, we'll click Calculate to head to the next page. Here is our prior service purchase summary, which includes a table of information breaking down your prior service purchase estimate. Let's go through each column in the table to understand what it all means. In the first column, we have the prior service purchase period. These are the dates we entered into the calculator on the previous page. Here we get the estimate for the cost to purchase prior service, which in this case is about $14,400, as shown here under the estimated cost to purchase column. So how do we come up with this cost amount? The cost to purchase prior service is the amount required for SHEPP to fund the potentially larger and longer pension. This actuarial calculation takes a number of factors into account, including your age and current salary. But all else being equal, the closer you are to qualifying for the Rule of 80 or normal retirement, and the higher your earnings, the more it'll cost to purchase prior service. The table also shows some other useful information. In the next column, we see how our purchase will affect our Rule of 80 date. Remember, if your age plus years of credited service add up to 80 or more, you've met the Rule of 80. And any member who meets the Rule of 80 is eligible to retire early with an unreduced pension and would receive a bridge benefit until they turn 65. In general, for every year of credited service you have, your Rule of 80 date will occur 6 months sooner. So in this case, we're estimating the cost to purchase a year's worth of credited service, which means this Rule of 80 date is 6 months earlier than it would be without the purchase. Moving to the next column, we see the estimated impact our purchase will have on our lifetime pension amount. Please keep in mind that this estimated amount is based on a normal retirement date, and the actual impact on your lifetime pension amount may differ depending on when you actually retire. The same applies to the impact to your bridge benefit amount. Remember, if you meet the Rule of 80, you're eligible to retire early with an unreduced pension, and you'll be eligible to receive a bridge benefit until you turn 65. If we decided to retire on our Rule of 80 date, in this case, July 1st, 2046, our bridge benefit amount would be about $34 higher each month until we turned 65. After that, the bridge benefit drops off and we continue receiving our basic lifetime pension amount for the rest of our life. And that's it for this tutorial. We hope this information was helpful in your consideration to purchase prior service. Remember, this calculator only provides estimates, so these amounts may vary from an official cost quote should you decide to make a prior service purchase. If you'd like to know more or have decided that purchasing prior service is right for you, please call SHEPP and let one of our friendly pension officers assist you. Thanks for watching.